Hey guys, Adam here from DirectionTrader.com. Let's do a recap and talk about what we see in today's markets and what we could look for moving forward. Um, Here in the Russell, we might as well just start here. Had quite the down day, guys. We originally had the push to the downside early this morning, and then we just kind of consolidated and stayed down there. We had a couple different pushes that we were interested in early on, and it just didn't amount to much. You see here on a 15-minute chart. If I just zoom over here and we take a look here at today's trading, you can see that we were very, very neutral for the most part throughout the entire morning. We had the early drops here right after the open. We had the early drops here where, kind of looked like something could happen. Then we put in this nice bottoming tail candle. We thought maybe we'd come back up and retest and look to fade it again. Just wasn't able to get a lot of mojo, so to say, going this morning. As it came down and retested this little area of consolidation, this previous candle here, I wasn't too aggressive because I was waiting for this thing to break. Sure enough, then lunch came and it finally broke down. And then since it broke down, I wasn't trading afternoon, and then we've just consolidated. So really not a lot of excitement for us to get, too crazy about going forward. Now, let me just go ahead and go over to our 233 tick chart here. And let's talk about, let me go to the 233 here, and we'll actually let's pull up a daily chart here on that. Here is the daily chart here. I need to use a historic chart here, but anyways, we're coming off these highs here. This is that resistance that we were talking about. We had this resistance that came through here on a daily chart, and we had this nice drop. So what now? We can see these previous swing lows here. So we are coming into some support here on the Russell. Now the other three indexes are pushing higher. We're just trying to get them to revert back towards that 21 EMA. Now that we are pulled back here on the Russell, we're at support. Are we going to break that support and head lower? Are we going to get a little bounce here? That's to be determined here. So going into tomorrow, I'm going to realize that we are at support here on the Russell. Any type of early activity above the previous day's low, meaning we can hold these previous days low, today's low, and if we can start to get a push to the upside, I'm going to look to play this thing long. But if we decide that if the market is just in one of them moods and it feels like selling off, I will start to look to take these shorts as it breaks the previous day's low, and then more importantly, these daily lows here that we see. We cannot kind of dismiss them daily lows because they will cause the market to go a little bit of a jerk back to the upside just before they sell off again. And we don't want to be them people getting caught up there on them swing lows. Even though we're down below like a daily low, we don't want to get caught up here in this little reversal where there's some buyers that come in but yet not enough to push higher, and it eventually rolls over. So be very careful here trading down towards them daily lows. We do not want to get caught up in that. So tomorrow could be an interesting day. These days where you're bullish above, bearish below makes for some very good trading times. So I'm very interested in that. Since we're on the Russell, let's stick to the indexes here. You see we are pulling back here on the S&P. We still have this 21 EMA that we've been talking about for oh so long, just waiting for it to revert back to that 21 EMA. That's what we're looking for. You see here, we've been stuck away from that moving average without coming back to it. We're just waiting for that reversion. We're not trying to be the one that picked the top. We're just waiting for it to get below previous day's low like it did today and then get aggressive with our selling. If the market allows you to get aggressive with your selling, go ahead and give it a shot. If it doesn't work out, move on away from the next opportunity. But tomorrow, I'm going to have a lot of the same analysis as I had today going into tomorrow. I'll be bullish below than previous day's lows, a little bit cautious in the middle, and if we decide to start to get a rally here, anything above today's highs, I'm going to continue looking for longer opportunities. We are in an uptrend, no denying that. We're still looking for a pullback, but if we decide to get above the previous day's high in an uptrend, there's only one direction I will be looking. And finally here, let's take a look over at the crude market. Mr. Crude, old Mr. Crude here, you are selling off, and here we are getting a pop. So on the crude market, we were watching today, previous day's high, previous day's lows, watching out for this drop were extremely extended from this 21 EMA, extremely extended from that. Anything above the previous day's highs, we were talking about looking long. It was slow. The move started way early this morning, like before our trading room even started. So we were actually looking at it later on. And what happened was we had a big push up and a lot of consolidation all morning. And then one more pop and then lots of consolidation. But it is moving its way to the upside. Tomorrow, if this thing breaks up above its previous day's high, I will look to take this long. Looking to get this thing continued to trade back towards that 21 EMA. We've got very, very much extended. You see, if you look back at what were the furthest we were extended from the 21 period moving average, this is definitely the most extended it's been in quite some time. So we are looking for this thing to revert back up towards that. Not saying it's going to go higher from here. Just get a pullback. Get a little retracement back up toward that 21, and we'll look to trade it. Any break below the previous day's low, just like in the S&P to the upside, the Russell's in a nice downtrend. We will look to go with that to the short side. So that's it for me today, guys. Not a ton for us to talk about here. More of an update in today's video and not a lot of information here about the markets and what we can do. Just looking at more of a directional bias here on some of these instruments. So if you have any questions, go ahead, reach out to me, Adam@directiontrader.com. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Have a good evening.